the Quran is a shifa.
Mm.
Okay? Surah Al-Duha. It's the Surah Al-Duha. Alam nashra laka sadrak. These are the cures for depression.
Subhanallah.
You know, in these ayat. Because what Allah is telling you in these particular ayat, how to alleviate the harm.
No, I'm not worried at all. I rely on God, Allah.
What I did when I first came out, I made dua when I was in there because they took my mushaf for a year, okay? And I didn't have any mushaf, but some of my students used to write me Quran, and my children would write me pages of Quran like it was a letter, and so that I would get Quran that way. You know, alhamdulillah. And those were my Canadian students as well. Alhamdulillah, they were sending me Quran, and some of my students in Miss Wissam in Texas, and they would send me Quran like that, and my students, and I would be reading the Quran like that. So I said, you know what? I'm a Hafiz Quran. I want to, when I get out, memorize all 10 qira'at. I hope I can do that. So when I got out, Sheikh Uthman Khan from Canada, he's up there with you guys.
Yeah.
He heard that I wanted to do that, and he gave me the opportunity, and he taught me the 10 qira'at. So the first thing I did as soon as I got out, I got connected to Sheikh Uthman Khan, and I spent the next 2 years just studying. 3 years with Sheikh Uthman Khan. The first 3 years I got out of prison, I was with Sheikh Uthman Khan. We went over the 10 qira'at the first year. The second 2 years, we went over the 10 qira'at in Kubra. And then I went with Sheikh Umar Khan, his brother, and I went over the 4 shadh. So it took me 3.5 years to do those qira'at, those 10, and then the 4 shadh with him. That was my rehab. Okay?
Subhanallah.
That's right. Going back to the Quran, because it's a shifa.
Yeah.
And that's the healing that I need. And every week, every time we're going through the Quran, we went through the Quran so many different times through all the different qira'ah. Okay? And that's what I did. And I suggest anybody who's having, spiritually emotional issues to go through the Quran. Okay? The Quran is a shifa. Okay? Surah Al-Duha. It's the Surah Al-Duha. Alam nashra laka sadrak. These are the cures for depression.
Subhanallah.
You know, in these ayat. Because what Allah is telling you in these particular ayat, how to alleviate the harm. Instead of talking about all the bad stuff, talk about all the good stuff, that the ni'mah of Allah that has got you. Okay? Go to the poor person and feed them. Okay? Go to the person that doesn't have and give them. This will give you such a high. And it'll defeat those negative thoughts, right? And this is what these two surahs look at. وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى. Look at the beautiful morning time. Look at the night when it's peaceful. Your Lord is not angry with you. وَمَا قَلَى. He ain't left you. And the hereafter is going to be better for you. Okay? So inna ma'al usri yusra, inna ma'al usri. Every one hardship you get so many yusura. So many yusra. So when you finish doing one act of ibadah, turn to another act of ibadah. As Imam Malik said, the ways to Allah are many. Some people get there by dua. Some people get there by dhikr. Some people get there by fasting. Some people get there by standing at night, reading Quran, giving sadaqah, doing what you're doing right now, teaching. And so when you get, a little bit bored with one, do another. فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ فَانْصَبْ وَإِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَارْغَبْ. Okay? And then we look at the na'alam nashra laka sadaq. Didn't Allah open your heart? You could be just like everybody else who's blind. Okay? Then he alleviate your burden that was going to break your back. And we've been through those situations. I can't never complain. Every day is a holiday and every meal is a feast. I lived in that prison, in that isolation for 3 years and didn't know how long I was going to be there. Okay? So Allah lifted that burden for me. What can I complain? How can I complain? I didn't do anything. The court could have rejected me, right? So it's only by the mercy of Allah. If somebody wants, then I respond to them, even if it's just making dua, right? And so this is what we're supposed to do to alleviate those hardships, those wiswas of shaitan, in my estimation. And this is why I think that as a Muslim, we are obligated to be the most human people on the planet. The most human people on the planet.
You know,
No.
Sheikh, I would, you're probably aware of it, but I'll remind you of the hadith of our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in Sahih Muslim, where he says the person who had the most miserable life,
Yawm
with so much,
al-Qiyamah.
that on the Yawm al-Qiyamah,
Salama.
Yeah.
Allah says in the
Allah-
Quran.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will just dip them in Jannah and ask them, did you ever have any hardship in your life? Did you have any distress? And he'll say, no, but Allah, I never had a single distress. So I hope you to be, I make dua that you're in the highest place in Jannah, Sheikh. And for me, I don't think you're just an inspiration to Muslims. The world needs to look at you as an inspiration for what you endured, because you were tortured, you were shown no humanity. Yet the system that caged you does not have the atom's weight of the heart and the soul that you have shown. From what I see from you, that you could have came out of prison wanting to burn the world down. Like if you look at the protesters, they're just trying to burn everything. You came out, you could have had that hatred in your heart to burn everything down, but you came out, you took care of your family, you took the role of a teacher, you took the initiative to advise people and try to bring people together. You took the initiative to speak out against injustice. And I hope, my dua is that you will be taken from amongst the abrar, that you will be taken amongst the Ahl al-Jannah, that you will be taken amongst the mukhlisin, the salihin. This is my dua, that you'll be taken amongst these types of people, because I want to let all those haters out there that hate does not give you strength to endure.
It doesn't.
It doesn't give you the strength to overcome, nor does it give you the strength to give.
Do I feel that the New York police are providing enough protection, or do I have to have protection of my own? I look for protection from Allah.